Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and earlier this week we got ourselves the Season 2 Reloaded update for Modern Warfare 2, and with it came with a brand new marksman rifle called the Tempus Torrent, which will be the main focus of this video. And then near the end, I want to discuss the brand new original 6v6 multiplayer map called Himmelmatt Expo, and you heard that correctly. This is a brand new map, the first new map that's been added to Modern Warfare 2 since launch, which is pretty crazy to think of, so make sure you guys do stay tuned for the end when I do discuss this new 6v6 map. But let's jump back into the Tempus Torrent marksman rifle, as I think this is the best marksman rifle that we currently see within Modern Warfare 2 right now, and that's saying something considering there are some popular weapons within the marksman rifle category, and adding a new one to the list, especially to one that's this good, I think is really going to stand out with the majority of the player base out there. And as time goes on and people start to unlock this weapon more, I think people are going to realize how powerful this gun actually is, and I wouldn't be surprised if it receives a nerf in the near future. Now, to unlock the Tempus Torrent, you can complete an in-game challenge that requires you to get 25 double kills using marksman rifles, or you can extract it in DMZ to unlock it, or you can buy a bundle within the shop to unlock it right away as well. But personally, I don't support the bundle system within the shop, and of course I'm not sure how you can extract it within DMZ unless somebody else already has the gun unlocked, and maybe you can find it as random loot on the ground, I'm not sure. And so I just went for the 25 double kills with marksman rifles, and it didn't really take me that long to do it. And of course, once a shipment 24/7 playlist pops up again, I'm sure everybody will try and go for it right away. But regardless, the Tempus Torrent marksman rifle is extremely good. You can pretty much guarantee yourself a 2-shot kill anywhere on the body with this weapon at pretty much any given range. Also, it does give you a 1-shot kill potential by shooting someone in the head, which is definitely saying something. Now, it doesn't look like that 1-shot kill to the head is at any range. It looks like there is a drop off at some point, because I did reduce the range on this weapon while testing it out in the firing range, and I was shooting the furthest test dummy away from me, and when I was shooting it in the head, I was getting a big fat hit marker on my first shot. So at some point, this gun does not grant you that 1-shot kill to the head at some given range, but I'll let Exclusive Ace or someone else try and figure that out for us. But nonetheless, the gun is a 2-shot kill at pretty much any given range with, of course, that 1-shot to the head potential. And this also has clean iron sights, which makes close range to medium gunfights really easy to actually engage in. And I find this weapon to be way more beneficial at close to medium range fights. I never really go for anybody at long distances unless maybe they're AFK and they're on the other side of the map, or if for whatever reason I know I can take them out at long range, I will. But the majority of the time in the class setups I make for this gun, it's going to be small to close to medium range fights. And since the iron sights are super clean, those iron sights are so nice, I don't see any reason to use an optic attachment on this weapon unless you're purposely trying to get those long shots for the platinum camo. I just don't really see a point in using an optic on this weapon. And not to mention, there's 3 different iron sights that I've noticed you can change on this. You have the default iron sight, or the TTHG40 guard attachment that also has the default iron sight look to it. But if you want to change up what the iron sights look like, you have to put on the Torrent TAC guard attachment or the Torrent Mach 4 guard attachment in order to see what the other iron sights look like. Personally, I think the default iron sight is the best looking one, but I have used the other guard attachments a little bit just to see how it feels. And so either way, the iron sights on this gun is phenomenal. Don't bother using an optic. I really don't recommend it. You're just wasting an attachment slot that could be utilized somewhere else. Also, I would like to mention that this gun only has 20 rounds in each magazine, and I say only 20 rounds as if it needs more, but it really doesn't. This gun does not need more than 20 rounds, and you do have the option to extend the magazine attachment. You can have a 30 round mag, and you can replace it with a 50 round drum if you wanted to as well. But the problem with these attachments, they are going to be slowing you down quite a bit, and I don't really think the trade-off of being slowed down and having more ammo in each magazine is really that worth it. So I really do think you need to be versatile when using the Tempus Torrent marksman rifle, and having those extra magazine attachments is just going to slow you down, and I just don't think they're any beneficial at all. And I was really shocked to see that this gun has 20 rounds in each mag by default, considering this is a 2-shot kill. kill plus a one-shot kill potential to the head. So 20 rounds is pretty good in my opinion. Usually these type of weapons we see within Call of Duty only have 10 to 15 rounds in each magazine by default. So really shocked to see that. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets reduced down to 15 in the future, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But either way, don't bother using a magazine attachment because you can utilize that attachment slot elsewhere, and I just think 20 rounds is perfect for this weapon. And for those of you who do have this weapon unlocked and you have attachments unlocked for this gun, or maybe you have it maxed out already, what stock attachments do you guys have? Because the PSO heavy stock is the only one it lets me select, and all the other ones are locked off. I don't know if this is because I don't have another weapon leveled up and I need to level up that weapon enough to where I can use those other stock attachments, but most of my guns are already at max level, and there's very few that I have that aren't just like max level yet. And so I'm not really sure why I can't use all these stock attachments. Usually it will tell you which weapon I need to level up to use that stock attachment or whatever the case may be, but it's not saying that for these particular attachments. I don't know if that's a bug in the game where we're supposed to use them and they're just locked off for everyone, or if there's just something that I need to do in game to unlock them. I'm not really sure what the deal is. So here in a second, I'm going to be showing you the attachments that I personally use on my Tempus Torrent loadout, and I'm not going to be using any stock attachments within this kind of class setup here, and that's mostly because none of them are really available for me to use for whatever reason. Otherwise, I would have a stock attachment on this best class setup here, which is really unfortunate. So the muzzle attachment I use is the Tempus GH50, the barrel is the 16-inch Tour RP, the laser sight is the FSS LV, the guard attachment I use is the TTHG40, and then the rear grip is the Phantom grip. And of course, I'll be showing you screenshots for the weapon tuning for each of these attachments. And the kind of main strategy I went with these attachments was kind of speed and accuracy, because the accuracy can definitely be improved from the base version of this gun, and I want to make sure that I'm always winning my gunfights while still maintaining that decent ADS speed when you sprint to fire, or if you're just standing still and need to ADS at an enemy. And so that was really the idea I wanted to go with this loadout, was versatility and accuracy. So still being able to have that good movement speed, that decent ADS speed, while still maintaining that accuracy, I think is very important. So that's kind of what I went with this class setup here. And I know it's not going to be the best Tempus Marksman rifle class setup that you're going to be seeing out there. There's going to be a lot better Tempus Torrent gun setups out there that you're going to see elsewhere, but this is just what I've been personally using, and I just thought I would share with you guys. But until I can use a stock attachment other than the PSO heavy stock, then my setup probably will change. But this is what I'm going to be rocking with right now until I unlock Orion with it, and until, of course, those other stock attachments become available. But yeah, I really do enjoy using this weapon. I highly recommend using it and unlocking it as soon as you possibly can, because I won't be surprised if this gun does get nerfed in the future. I don't know if it will get nerfed based on its damage range, its damage profile, or even just its magazine count that you get. 20 rounds by default, like I said, is pretty good, and so I wouldn't be surprised if that gets reduced down to 15 or between 10 and 15 shots, just so it forces people to use that magazine attachment. I don't know if they'll do that, but it is a very good possibility. And of course, they may even decrease the fire rate on this as well, and make the gun kick a lot more every time you fire it. So that's something that you should look out for in case it does get nerfed in the future. But as it stands right now at the start of Season 2 Reloaded, it is very, very good to use. Now let's briefly talk about the new 6v6 map called Himmelmatt Expo, which Infinity Ward said that this map was playtesting well and was originally supposed to be coming out within Season 3, but they decided to bring it for Season 2 Reloaded since it was playtesting well. But I think we all know the real reason why we're seeing it now is because how much backlash the community had with Modern Warfare 2, since we've been getting like no communication and really no good updates for multiplayer at all. And so it's very much needed that we needed a brand new multiplayer map now more than ever, because we never had this big of a drought for multiplayer in Call of Duty in like ever. It's like really a historical moment actually. And so I'm glad this map has came out. At first, I was not a big fan of this map because of how large it is for 6v6, and I was just getting my ass kicked, honestly. Like, that's probably part of the reason why I was just not enjoying it. But once I understood the map layout a lot more, once I started using weapons that were a lot more viable than just sniper rifles and pistols every single match, I started to enjoy the map a lot more. and it's really nice to know that we have another snow map within the Call of Duty series, because we definitely don't get like any snow maps anymore. I don't know why, but developers just don't make snow maps for Call of Duty as much anymore, and so it's always welcome to see more snow maps come into the series. And even though I didn't like this map at first and I wasn't like performing very well, as time went on, I understood the layout a lot more of this map, and I find it to be pretty damn good, even for 6v6 multiplayer, despite the size of the map. I will say, if you're playing game modes like Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirm, it's going to feel pretty slow, and you're not going to be getting an engagement as much, but this map is available in the 10v10 mosh pit, which I think is awesome, and you're definitely going to be in a lot more engagements when playing on 10v10 rather than 6v6, and so the game modes like Domination, Hardpoint, Headquarters, I think play very well on this map. However, I'm not the biggest fan of Domination, just because there's two flags that are pretty much near each other. I believe it's the C and B flag that are near each other, and they're inside indoor areas, so your aerial streaks aren't going to be able to defend those flags if they're getting captured, which I think is stupid, and part of the reasons why I hate the way they set up some of the flag locations for Domination recently in these Call of Duty games. But regardless, I don't think Domination is a complete garbage mode, but I think Headquarters, or excuse me, Hardpoint, I think is probably the best mode to actually play, because that forces players to actually move around and rotate to the next hardpoint locations, and it makes every gunfight really unique, considering you can pretty much use any weapon class in this map: AR, SMG, sniper, marksman rifle, pistol, maybe even melee only. Really, any weapon class is viable on this map, and you're pretty much going to perform well no matter what type of setup you decide to use. You just have to make sure that you're going through the correct routes when using those setups, I suppose, and so of course that just revolves more around skill than anything. But I think you can really use any weapon on here except for maybe shotguns. There's like a few areas where shotguns will perform well for sure, but I think it'll be better to have a shotgun as like your secondary, as like an overkill secondary, rather as like your main primary when running around this map, but that's just my personal opinion. Also, I feel like this map visually looks really good. It's bright and vibrant, and probably the snow helps make other players stand out, because I've noticed that players can blend in pretty well with the environment for these Call of Duty maps, but this map is a little bit different, and players don't seem to blend in that well, and maybe because the snow does play in the factor. But the map is bright and vibrant, reminds me of like a Treyarch map, if I'm being honest with you, and so it seems really odd that Infinity Ward developed this map themselves, and so I'm not complaining. It's a great map. It might take some time to get used to, especially in the conference room area, because there's certain routes in the conference room that I think are pretty unpredictable of where an enemy might poke their head at, and so there's some areas that might make it hard to predict where enemies might come from. But honestly, the map is pretty good. I really do like Himmelmatt Expo, a great addition to Modern Warfare 2, and I'm glad to see that we got it within Season 2 Reloaded, rather within Season 3. And that is going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really just wanted to give the Tempus Torrent the spotlight that I think it deserves right now. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a nerf coming for it soon. And of course, within the same video, I just want to briefly talk about the Himmelmatt Expo map, because I think it's a pretty good addition to the series, and I just didn't really feel like making a video for it separately. I just don't think there's any real point in doing so, and so I just kind of want to make this kind of long video for you guys and just discussing both of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Do not forget to check those links in the description so you can follow me over on Twitter and follow me over on Twitch, where I do go ahead and live stream occasionally. And with that being said, I shall catch you guys later.